screen so I can.
Hello, and welcome to Midweek Gaming. We're back once again, episode number 46. If you'd like a great gamer picture or background or thumbnail making or just general designs for YouTube, etc., please check out the Graphic God, www.xboxgamerpics.com, and Jay will sort you out. And this week, we have a good lineup, and we have a guest on this week, Redis TV. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. Yeah, doing good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I had to have you on when I first heard you. Like this guy, he's straight to the point. Just how I like it.
Brutally honest. Quite
You
inappropriate.
You've been playing many games recently?
Not this week. No, I've been going through a bit of personal stuff, so I've not had a lot of time to game this week. I have had a few games of Smite here and there, but that's about it, really. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And which way should we go? We go to Animated Evil. He's not been on for a little bit. How are you doing?
Hello. As always, thank you for having me. Great to see you guys, and great to see Mr. Redis TV back with me again. We've done a couple. We've done a couple here and there together.
Yeah.
Oh, good to see you, sir. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, looking forward to it tonight. I'm all chipper and excited, shall we say?
Good to hear. You've been playing many games because I think Sunday night we did for a little bit.
Yes, we did play a little game Sunday night. We played the Halo flight on Sunday, which was good. It was great to have you out of your cave and playing some multiplayer games with me.
Yes,
awfully nice.
I wasn't jealous at all.
She was very shocked. I plugged the mic in. He was like,
yes, it was a good conversation we had. We went mental, didn't we? We beat everybody.
Wasn't due to me.
And stayed awake, I heard.
He did. Yeah. There was no snoring in my mic or anything.
And then when Toshi went, they decided to switch the servers off, the bastards.
They did. They really did. It was no good. Yeah, I was up for another hour at least Sunday, and no, unfortunately, it was game over. But it's back this weekend, so we can repeat it.
It's good to see you still in your tent, animated.
Yep.
Anyway,
so as well as Sunday, I've played nothing but Marvel's Avengers this week, which is a topic of ours, I believe. So I'll leave
Sounds
it there for
familiar.
It is.
I think something's happening with that game. I'm not sure what it is, but I've heard rumors.
Being cancelled, I heard, wasn't it, or something like that?
We can talk about it. There's speculation and rife with all that. When we get onto the topic, we'll talk about it.
We'll discuss why I'm playing and where I am and things like that when we get on topic. But other than that, not a lot.
Okay, fair enough. And welcome to Cerebral Paul. How are you? The busiest man in the industry.
I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if I can match this high energy intro that Stubbs was giving today, that National Public Radio kind of feel, We'll see how it goes. Because I know it's not as late for me as it is for you guys, but it still feels like it is. Let's see. What have I been playing this week? Have I been playing anything this week? I've just been kind of dinking around. I really can't think of anything because I've got some projects going on that are tying up a lot of my time. So there you go.
Okay.
I did play a little Halo last weekend, and I will be playing it again this weekend. I'm looking forward to the big battle load test with vehicles and everything, so I can show everybody how well I cannot drive. Yes.
That'd be good. That will. I got in my. Well, we'll talk about it later, but yeah, it's fun. It is. So yeah, removable sanity. How are you doing?
Who? Where? Oh, hello. Yeah, hello. How are you doing? No, thank you very much for having me on again. It's always nice to, let me do my one thing I do like, which is talk.
Yeah, you definitely do like doing that. You do. But VJ's not here this week to chat with you, debate.
I'll try and make up for him. It won't be hard though.
Won't be hard for you.
Yeah, no, exactly. Games. I've been doing a review currently of a game called Lake. So that'll be out sometime this week. A lovely little indie game. And also, I've been playing another lovely little indie game that I played the demo and I absolutely adore it. It's called Sable. Lovely little game. It's on Game Pass, so I would recommend you have a little play of it. It's very beautiful, very soothing, and yes, very enjoyable.
Yeah, but doing good things about it.
It is. It is one of those things. They think you think, oh, I've got a preconception of what's going to go on with it, and it kind of it isn't really what you think it's going to be, and it's just a lovely little game. It really is soothing, enjoyable. I can't really recommend it much, really. I can't really give it as much praise as I'd like to. I'd really just think, go and try it out for yourselves. As I said, it's on Game Pass, so give yourselves an hour or something and just have a little play yourself.
Exactly. It's not too soothing now, is it? Because I generally fall asleep when that happens.
Stubbs, you fall asleep on Gears.
Yeah, you fell asleep mid battle on Sea of Thieves. Mid battle. So don't be giving me that. It's too soothing.
I do.
I'm mad.
Sea of Thieves is too soothing. So
All that motion in the ocean, isn't it?
But yes, so got a few topics, and I thought I'd mention it because everyone's talking about this topic, and there's been a lot of negativity, but I think it's quite a positive topic. I think it adds to the game. So I'm talking about the initiative. They did an update on their Twitter, Perfect Dark update. We are partnering with Crystal Dynamics, the world-class team behind character-driven games such as Tomb Raider, to bring this first-person spy thriller to a new generation. The teams couldn't pass up a chance to work together. We're still early in development, but we're incredibly excited to use this unique opportunity to deliver on the vision of Perfect Dark. So, have you got any thoughts on this, Redders? As I have been told off regular for not asking the guests first, so that's what I'm going to do from now on.
Only from BJ, and he's not here, so.
Yeah.
For me personally, it threw up a bit of a red flag, just because a lot of people are talking about the initiative and how they're supposed to be this next big Quad A studio from Microsoft, and
I'll pull you up on that bit. It's a triple A bit. The quadruple A bit. It was, and I found out where that came from. It wasn't actually from Xbox. It was a posting just to get developers excited. It was never meant to be seen by the public.
Yeah,
but carry on. Sorry, there you go. Carry on.
But I think everybody's got this great big expectation from them that they're going to deliver this massive blockbuster game, and that's how I perceived it as well. Like, this is a new studio that's going to be launching these Xbox exclusives, these big Xbox exclusives, and to hear that they brought in help, I believe it was Gina who said it the other day, but they shouldn't have announced that they'd brought in Crystal Dynamics. And I think he's right. I think they should have kept that quiet and just announced it closer to the time, because at the moment, now I feel like about this game has only just been announced, and now they've announced they brought in another studio to help develop it. For me, that's made the initiative seem a bit I don't know what the word is, like questionable, like whether they've got the talent to deliver this game. And
see, I'm putting in dibs for next. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, go on.
So yeah, it's I worry that the studio is not capable of developing a game themselves. That's the biggest worry that I've got with it. But yeah, that's
I can understand that. We've all got different opinions, but they are a new studio and they're still learning all that process. They are, but
for sure.
I can see why some people are worrying. I can.
Yeah. It's just like, it's the amount of attention that they've been getting as well. Like, this big Xbox studio, they're fresh out the gate, they're ready to start developing and shit. No, this is their first project, and they've already announced they brought in outside help. So it's like, how capable is this studio if that's what they're doing this early on? Well, I could be completely wrong, but that's just like, that's the red flag that's setting up for me anyway.
That's fair enough. That is okay.
Go on then, Paul.
Richard?
Cerebral is biting
There
it.
we go.
Whatever it's called.
Let loose. Go.
All right. Okay. So first things first. The initiative, even though they're a new together group, they are not new programmers. They're not new gamers. They've all have at least 10 years of experience each. Okay. So as far as that goes, even though they're new at working together, they're not. I don't consider them a new, fresh off the ground studio. You know, they're not like guys that have never done this before.
No, I get that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and they're relatively small. I think there's only 70 of them or something.
Yeah, that surprised me. That did.
It's between 60 and 70. Yeah.
Right. And so I don't think it's a bad sign or anything that they brought in Crystal Dynamics, who the guy who runs the initiative has a history with. You know, I think it's
the guy that announced the Perfect Dark game. Like, he said that he needed to take time away to focus on his family. Then a week later, he's come back as being the head of Insomniac. Is it that he is now? He left the initiative to rejoin Insomniac.
I think he used to work there before, though. To be fair,
yeah,
I could be wrong.
I felt the way that was handled was a bit shifty, because that was like, oh yeah, I'm taking time away because I need to focus on my family, and then a week later he announced
it was a bit hard though, because his brother died. That was kind of why people. Yeah,
okay.
That's why he stepped away. Then he decided to get another job. So I don't really know the ins and outs about it, but
yeah.
And then so and we don't know why Crystal Dynamics is being brought in. It could be for one aspect of the game that they're having some issues with that Crystal Dynamics has a background in. And they could get it done faster. So I don't think I think a lot of this drama around this, the quote negativity, is being brought on by what do you want to call them, warmongers. They're looking to throw crap at Xbox, and to see what sticks. I personally, I don't care any of the studios if they want to bring in help from any of the other studios and they're willing to work together. Hey, that's great, because that's great for us. Okay, as a gamer, that usually ends up with better products. And
you should remember that also. A lot of devs actually behind the scenes help each other out. It's like, okay, we've got a bit of a lull. Can you give us a helping hand with a group of teams? And it wouldn't be surprising if they've actually just gone, look.
Yeah.
Whilst we're in the middle of a lull, Square Enix is a little bit or going through a process phase or design phase. They're like, we need something to do, or we've got a little bit of time on our hands, and we're going to get paid for it. And Xbox has gone, look, we need some extra hands. They go, yeah, okay, you pay us, take them.
Yeah,
we're in a development stage at the moment. We're not in a process stage. Go ahead, use them. That's more money for us.
Yeah, it could be.
And not only that, yeah. Go ahead.
No, or they could be, for all we know, they could be. They could be teaching them something, because there are a new studio. They could be teaching them something. I don't really know. It's just a guess.
No,
that's the thing is we don't know. I mean, but everybody wants to jump on the negative, and it's and it's important to remember, like a lot of industries, for as many studios as they are, the game development industry is a small, tight knit group. They all know each other. They all, and many of them have worked together in one form or fashion. It's just like radio broadcasting or TV broadcasting. It's the same thing. They all kind of know each other's history and the ins and outs. And if one of them needs help, they reach out to another one. Like I said, I don't see anything but positive out of this. I don't see, oh my God, they're in trouble or anything like that, because there's no indication of that.
I don't think they're in trouble.
I didn't say it was you, but I've seen some of the same posts you have.
I feel like it's just it sends off mixed messages when you've got this studio that's being touted as being the next big Xbox exclusive studio.
But who touted that though? Did they tout that, or did the game press and the game base tout that?
Twitter says it, so it must be true.
See, I'm going to come in right here at this point with my thoughts. Because it serves well for the conversation. Now, what you've got to think is that Perfect Dark is a reboot of an old franchise, and the studio that's doing it wants it to go well, right? And what you've got to remember about Crystal Dynamics, they remade Tomb Raider, which, for sure. Let's be fair, under critical acclaim, the Tomb Raider sort of revamp, as it were, was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
I mean, people are shooting up this sort of, oh no, they might be in trouble. Maybe they're just saying, do you know what? We don't know what kind of, we don't know how to start this reboot. You've got experience. Give us a hand. I mean, there's so many studios help so many other studios. It's a non-thing. I don't think it's even something to worry about. If you've got a core of 60 employees, which they're going to keep anyway, they're always going to bring in different studios to help when they're busy. Think of local work. When you're busy, you bring in a couple of agency guys, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
For the interim. And that's exactly what I think Crystal Dynamics is. Just that advisory, because they've had that experience with the reboot of Tomb Raider, which was absolutely brilliant compared to what we thought it was going to be on launch.
Yeah. Those games are great. I'm not gonna sit here and like bash. It's the way it's all come across for me. Like I'm sure that the game
some
will
of
come out great. I'm sure that it
some
will
of the
be.
handling of some of the announcements have been kind of weird. Like the guy who said, "I'm going to take time off for my family," and then a week later comes back.
Yeah,
but
it was.
I've seen that. I've seen that in other industries too, because whatever made them decide to take time off was all of a sudden off of their plate. So they were, oh, never mind, I'm going to come back.
Well,
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Sometimes, and if it is a bereavement as well, sometimes you kind of take the time off and then you think, Christ, actually, I'm going to go crazy thinking about it. I need to get back to work to keep my mind off it. And in a way, you go off thinking, oh yeah, this is what I need, and realise quite quickly it's like, no, this is not what I need. I don't need to think about
but
this
one of the funniest things that happened with my father is he was so looking forward to his retirement. This was many years ago. He couldn't wait to retire. Boy, the year after he retired, he made himself so busy he was nuts because because without doing something, he was bored.
Yep.
Yeah. You'd think
it's
that
a big thing for retirees.
You'd think there'd be some sort of contract clause or something, or
but we don't know. We don't know the story. We don't know the story behind it. I mean, he may have left the initiative because of family reasons. A week later, because he's now known to be unemployed, his new employees have gone to him and said, "Look, here's some money. Come back to us. Here's a massive amount of money, and it may have been an amount that, do you know what? It's too good to pass up. You don't know. We don't know his personal circumstances. We
Wolverine,
don't know.
Baby. Wolverine, come and
Exactly.
make it. They were like,
do you know? We don't know the personal circumstances, so it is what it is. We can't call him out on anything like that because we don't know him. I don't know him, and good luck to him. If he's happy where he is now and he wasn't before, whatever. He is where he is, and that's good luck to him. That killed the conversation.
I'm just waiting for other people to jump in. That was all. It didn't
what else could you say to good girl could go to? No, don't.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can only apologise for making a little bit of sense there.
Here. No, he should.
And this help could also just be. I was going to say real quick. This help could also just be a matter of we have a deadline to meet. We already know that we need to kind of pick up the pace. We need more bodies in here for a little while to do that. Because remember, even though the pandemic is somewhat over, I guess, I don't know. They've still got to play catch up from last year, and things are still not 100%. We're still going to be.
Oh yeah, you can guarantee that their deadlines are the contracts are still in place. Just because COVID is going on doesn't mean those contracts, those deadlines are
right.
It's those sort of things. If they're delayed, they are literally, it is a last minute decision. It's not like, we should really do it. It's literally, no, you have to try everything to get this out. There is no excuses. So if there's a delay.
Like the last minute announcement that they were delaying the co-op on Halo. They waited that long, I think, on purpose. Because they were trying to make sure they could get it done. They realized we can't get this done. So we need to let the public know. See, I guess I'm more forgiving of stuff like this than automatically looking for the negative, because I, even though I'm not in the industry, I understand how programming works and how stuff like that works, and how, hey, guess what, stuff happens no matter how much you plan. When you're dealing with computers, there's nothing that can't go wrong,
That's true.
Oh, God, yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah. Stubbs, you should be having a quick chat and saying hello to the people in chat.
I will. I'll just do go down the list. I'll go right to the top. So, welcome to Pong Soul Infinite, the Jinner. Good show before with Redders, and I'm a Ghostbuster beforehand. Masuku, welcome. Fabio, welcome. We're going to list a bit more. Welcome to the Indie Gamer. Shizano Elite, the Indie Gamer. I've just said that twice, haven't I?
Yep.
I have.
Is Fabio already telling us to? Is Fabio already telling us to move on to the next topic?
All airtime.
The Mama Rocks. Come on.
Dragon Wolf, Luke Steele, that Mama Rocks, and
Animated Evil.
Judzilla Music. How are you? And I'm just trying. No, I think Antelagonic. Welcome. Okay, for tradition.
Yeah.
Hello, Animated Evil.
Give us a like and a tweet.
Yeah, please like and tweet us out if you think we're doing a good job, having fun. But yes,
even if you don't think we're doing a good job, give us a like.
Tweet us out, yeah.
But no, it's an interesting topic. I think it's a positive because you get games like Naughty Dog quite often do it. They will have support. Often, sometimes up to 2,000 devs and use different studios, but they don't actually make like big announcements. They just like when you complete the game, you'll see it all in the credits after you completed it. They don't make big announcements about it. Because in general, third party big AAA devs, when they make games, they normally get like support studios that ain't AAA. I think that's why people are moaning, but when it comes to like Xbox, that they all help. Xbox game studios seem to all help that. So they all seem to help each other in some way now. Like you got like Halo Infinite, the Coalition helped them a lot, and I think it's quite widespread within the Xbox game studios now. I don't know how it works at PlayStation. I imagine they also do the same, but a lot of it's behind closed doors until the credits roll when you've completed the game. I think that's what it's all about. I think,
for sure. I don't get
the controversies. People just crying because it's a brand new studio, and to be honest, they are actually getting themselves off the ground. There's 70 devs. I mean, it can't be easy to set up a brand new studio. I know Microsoft's got like all the money in the world, but to actually get the studio off the ground and get everything rolling and get the team to work in harmony, so to speak, you've got to get the right to get the game moving. It can't be an easy job, so I can see why they've got help. But I think it's a positive. That's they are my thoughts on it.
That's fair.
They are. But yeah, the chat. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Right, let's go on to the next topic. I'll just load it up. I will. There's probably, I don't know if a lot of people have much to say on this one, but The Last of Us 2. The developer says it loves what the team is developing and it wants to provide more time for building out, and we reveal more when it's ready. I'll just get the quote. Oh well, I'm not well prepared for this one. There we go. Here we go. Naughty. Sorry, I'm not prepared at all. Basically,
start from the beginning of the sentence, Stubbs. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm reading the article
from the top. From the top.
Tonight on Stubbs Mumbles.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog. When it's ready.
You ever thought of a career in news reading?
Yeah. Basically, Naughty Dog are creating a multiplayer game that's very ambitious, and they're looking forward to it.
Fair enough.
So, and any thoughts on it? I know it's not a big topic because no one knows what we're doing. Really.
I honestly think that it's going to be the multiplayer for The Last of Us 2, and they're going to re-release it as a director's cut. And they'll include it with the director's cut.
Could well,
And
could
they'll sell
very
it
well
to you
be.
again. And they'll sell it to
they'll
you
sell it to you
again.
again.
Yep.
I can see that being the being
with
what
ray
it's all
tracing.
Very good-
I
could be.
I have to kind of agree there with Redders because if they're just releasing a multiplayer update, maybe it's a little too late because the game's been out a hell of a long time. So they're
2
going to
years
have
now,
to
isn't it?
put some. Yeah, it's going to have to come with all the bells and whistles on the PS5. And that's the only way they're going to resell it. So it's
Yeah,
going to
the
be
Legendary
it's going to
Edition.
be it's going to be the PS5 version with multiplayer as well. And you pay $60 or whatever it is, and you get the multiplayer free. That's the only way. Otherwise, it's too little, too late. I think it may not be.
The multiplayer they announced would be free. Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
No,
I
but
think-
what I'm saying is,
it's too late now to add a multiplayer
Yeah.
to The Last of Us 2. It's going to be it's going to
Exactly,
be one
yeah.
of those things that's going to have to come with a remaster.
Luke
edition.
Steele's got a different opinion here. It will be a standalone factions game.
Maybe. Honestly, I
that's
just think
a good take.
I've heard a lot of
take.
people say about this factions game. I never played it before, but they used to have one apparently, and it was really good.
Given by what's happened with Ghost of Tsushima and that other game that got a director's cut, was it Death Stranding? I honestly think they'll go the director's cut route and they'll include it. It'll be $70 and you now get a multiplayer.
Could very well be.
It depends on whether or not there is another option in my rattling in my head is whether or not they go down the free to play route and do something like a bit like Apex Legends, where it is literally a standalone multiplayer and then it's going to be a season thing, but set in the Last of Us world. That could easily be because remember, Sony's after a more multiplayer-esque games. They know these free-to-play with season passes are doing well. I mean, you can see that we've got a plethora of them. So that could easily be something which says, what? Why don't we do something similar, but say the Last of Us genre? I can guarantee quite a few people will probably say yes to it.
Yeah. It's one of those games as well that people will go out and buy because it is, it's The Last of Us and people will play that.
Someone's phone's ringing.
Yeah, that's mine. 2 seconds.
Sony. They've heard about us.
calling.
Yeah, they've heard.
Welcome, Invader Gaming.
It's Fabio calling him to tell him to move it along.
Speaking of him, actually, he's coming on next week. Fabio is.
Oh,
Hey,
cool.
that'd be good.
I do believe he's in the chat as well. So hi, Fabio.
Is
Hello, Fabio.
Looking forward to that, brother. Looking forward to it.
Luke Steele's got a comment here. He thinks almost certainly it will be that. There is no way it's going to be a normal multiplayer update to The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2, considering they pushed the multiplayer specifically from The Last of Us 2 because their plans were too ambitious. So he basically thinks it's going to be a factions game because as you said, Removable Sanity, they obviously see what Xbox is doing with these games and making money out of them and multiplayer games, and they obviously want to slice the pie, and I can't blame them really. But free to play would be the route, obviously.
Yeah, I think it'll be a constant money earner for them. That would and the market would do well on it. I think it would do rather well, especially if you could add in, other Sony people in it.
I do apologize.
And
everybody's been saying Sony needs a multiplayer, so there you go.
They have
exactly. Yeah, it would hit well with their home base, and to be honest, I don't see why it shouldn't be. It's a shame because the last decent, and again, this is my personal opinion, so please don't kill me in the chat. My last decent multiplayer game that I really enjoyed on PlayStation was Killzone, and they've killed the recently they've got dropped down the server for it, and I think they got rid of the website for it. So it's almost like, ooh, is that being killed? I'm trying to think of another really good multiplayer for PlayStation, and that was the only one that was the one that was my addiction to. Really,
Your
I
ghost.
love that game.
So,
it's my go-to game.
I think remember saying I'm talking a long time ago. SOCOM had some decent multiplayer on it, but
SOCOM also had the very first voice chat and voice activated AI, so you could tell, you could like go, squad member left, go to Delta, and that would send your guys there. Yes, it was. It was a very good. I think that's PlayStation 2.
Yep, all the way back in the day. Yes, that's the last. It has to be because that's the last PlayStation I owned. We've got a PS3 in the house somewhere, where it's just like the Hoover gathering dust.
That was actually really fun. I actually quite liked that. Telling my AI to go to Delta Base, aim there. It was a really well thought out game, and it was Space Age. Like, I can play multiplayer over line. It was amazing at the time with the console. But again, as I said, Killzone was the last big multiplayer. I'm trying to think of again in the chat. See if you can tell me there's something different.
So as you said, they killed the website. I thought I'd go and look, and the website is still there, but it's just a page saying Killzone.com has been retired. Dear Killzone.com visitor and all that.
I know.
It basically says the servers are still up, but I don't know how old this statement was. So the servers could probably be pulled down by now. The copyright on it was 2020. So I don't know.
It was a really good multiplayer as well. They had a good XP system and a very good upgrade system. It worked really well. I really enjoyed it, I must admit. I put a lot of hours into that. It was a shame, really. The last one didn't kind of do as well as I'd hoped it to be, unfortunately. I think they went more flashy graphics rather than solid gameplay, if I remember correctly. But it's a shame, really. But this could definitely work well for them. And I'd like to see more multiplayer games on Sony.
Yeah, I was just. I'm just going to interrupt the topic a minute. I just had a random thought. Cerebral Paul. Okay. You know that moment where we see Luke Skywalker for the first time. He's got that beard going on. Are you going for the Last Podcaster movie? Because you're looking a little bit.
That's it, yeah.
Cerebral Paul, the Last Podcaster. Just a thought. I do apologise for interrupting the flow there, but I had to get it out. I was going to put it in chat, but I thought, you know what? I'm in the show. Why not?
Can we mute him now? Okay.
Yes. Where's that kick button, Stubbs? I told you I was in a good mood.
By the way, if you're ever on with Wilmy, don't ask him that question because he will kick you. Okay,
that's true. Yeah.
Who's that?
Wilmy Hood.
Yeah, he won't let you
get back in, but he takes nothing. He wastes no time. He said, "Where's the kick button?" Before you get the phrase out.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Stubbs just did that. It's fine. Anyway, I apologise for interrupting the flow there, but I had a thought, had to get it out.
Definitely. Welcome, C Script.
Done more podcasts than Mark Hamill has movies.
Welcome to C Script.
I got a lot to say, and I'm one of the few people who say it. So there you go.
And welcome to Back from the Dead. Thanks for stopping in. Any more thoughts on this topic, or have we all?
No, I chipped in. I chipped in. I'm good. I chipped in. Said my bit.
So, okay, then we'll move on. I don't know how long this topic would take. It depends how you feel about this one. It's
where to stop.
I haven't played a Sony game in probably close to a decade as far as on a PlayStation. So I have no dog in that fight.
Fair enough. Right, this one you probably will have a say on. Have any of you played the recent Halo Infinite technical preview, or any of them? Doesn't matter if you didn't play last weekend.
Halo. Beta. I've heard of Halo somewhere.
Didn't you get in, Redders?
I'm probably the one Xbox fan that fucking hates Halo.
Ooh.
So I just don't care.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tell us what you really think. Okay, wow. Let's throw that.
No, I
He
was
says
thinking,
that.
like,
He
I
says
was-
that. But he's got a big H on his bum cheek. That's what it is, really. It's just-
I was on PlayStation up until the PS3. So by the time I made the switch to Xbox, I'd already missed that Halo and Gears of War train. So it was never wanted to go back for me. So I've never really been into Halo. It just doesn't really do anything for me.
Apparently,
No, I
Jenna
have a
has
question.
told me to mute you, Redders.
Yeah.
I don't blame
because
you.
of the statement.
So have
But Jenna
have you
knows
tried
my
this-
feelings on Halo.
See, have you tried this one at all?
Nah, not at all.
Yeah.
I have played a Halo game, but I think I must have spent maybe an hour.
Do you want my friend code
10
to
minutes
play
to
the
an hour, I
beta
think.
this weekend?
Nah, I'm
You can
alright,
if you
I'm
want.
alright.
No, you
No,
sure?
well, no.
I
The reason
appreciate it, but no, it wouldn't get used.
the reason I'm asking is because I'm not a big Halo fan, and this game doesn't play like any of the previous Halos.
Mm.
It's a lot faster. It's a lot smoother. It feels totally different. Dude.
It's like I said to the Xbox Live Party podcast the other day. Like I grew up on arena shooters in games like Quake and Unreal. So like Halo should be like the perfect game for me. But I was too late to that party, and I just had no interest in going back. So it's not really a game for me.
Hey, so the Gina, if you need somebody to replace him permanently on that podcast y'all do every weekend, I'm available. I got time.
Paul's always available.
See,
Any
he's counting
podcast
himself to other
anywhere.
people already. Honestly,
Saturday is one of my open days, so there you go.
Yes, so I'm going to jump in, and yes, I did
everyone's
get
waiting.
on. I'm going to jump in. It's fine. Yeah, I got on this weekend. Friday. It was after a very, very, very long session of golf, which was brilliant. Shout out to Highlander for dragging me in. So I didn't. Friday night. It was like
actual
actual golf on the Xbox. So it was 1 a.m. by the time I jumped onto Halo, and I was like, you know, when you're like in the chair like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I found
that's why Stubbs never has his camera on. 'Cause he's always like that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So
true.
I jumped on. I thought, you know what? I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it felt slowed. It felt. It didn't click. But then I jumped on again Sunday when I got the chance, and it was a case of when I loaded up this session, my settings on my controller had somehow gone over to custom controls. The entire time I was playing Friday, I didn't know what button I was
kept
pressing.
trying to press Y and it weren't changing guns.
All sorts of stuff. So I set my controls back to default, set the field of view up to 110, set my speed up to 8 instead of 6.2 or whatever it's standard. And yes, it felt absolutely fantastic. I loved it. As you know, Stubbs, because we played together. So
Yeah, we did. And you carried
Very
me
good.
until
And
she carried me.
we did carry you, yes. And we had a good game with the four of us. Once there was four of us in, and yeah, we were wrecking all comers. Well, maybe not you, but we.
No, I wasn't. I got a couple of
Stubbs
kills
was
in
the
the end.
slaughter to the lamb. He
Maybe-
was luring
maybe
me
not
whilst he was
you.
doing all the-
Maybe not you that time, Stubbs, but we as a team, the other three of us, were going nuts. It was good. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I think. Again, I'm with them.
I love the way you're
Reddit.
pulling Stubbs out. The other three of us were doing great. Yeah,
Yep. I don't
Oh,
mind
now
it.
you were doing
It's gonna happen.
It
It's
was
gonna
good
happen.
fun.
It's
It
gonna
was
happen.
good.
It's gonna happen. But the good thing is we got him out of his single player mode and got him playing with friends for a change. And that was what was impressive.
It was.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm with Redders as well though. I was never a massive Halo fan. I was PlayStation until PS2, so I was never a first person shooter fan until a few years ago. And yeah, I really did. I really did like the multiplayer. It felt a little Call of Duty-ish, but that's only because Call of Duty is the staple, isn't it? But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. Next.
I managed to play the alpha and the beta, so I've got a little bit more. I saw the previous one and how that was, that played around. And as a Halo person, I've been in it from day naught really, so I can say that I've got some experience in terms of Halo and the multiplayer. And for me, the best multiplayer for me was 3. Kind of 4 and 5. I was more interested in the actual storyline than multiplayer. It just seemed a little bit lackluster. And I must admit, I think I mentioned it to a few people that this multiplayer, it was like a retro style with something new, fresh added into it. It was really much more. I mean, I've kind of paused on multiplayer games because I've kind of found them just like there's so many out there. I'm just like, ugh, it's oversaturated, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with a few single player games now. And obviously, been a dad as well with newborns and that. It's not easy to always jump on with loads of other friends. So getting onto this multiplayer, I was surprised. I was like, you know what? I'll go in. I wasn't really expecting much, and I was very surprised. It was like, wow, this feels, again, for me, it felt like very much like the third one, which was really good, and it was really enjoyable. And then very easily, you could see there's, Halo's a little bit about strategy as well with the power-ups and the guns. It's not just, point and shoot. It is a little bit of strategy involved in there, which you can see now people are, tweaking and sending posts and clips on Twitter, showing how they can kind of abuse and use some of the power ups and those little aspects. No, I was surprised. I must admit, I went in with no real enthusiasm, or it was more of like, I'll just go in and see what it's about, and came out actually probably quite a little bit more hyped than I have been done for a multiplayer game for quite a while now. So whatever they've done, fair play to them, because as I said, I haven't played a multiplayer game now for a good couple of years, and I was like, there was nothing there to keep me there, but this looks like it may do.
I think this weekend's going to be the big test. It's going to be the big battle, the large battle test, and vehicles. So this is going to be the big test of their whole system, pretty much.
I think I may go and play it at some point. I'm not in any rush to go out and play it, but like I've heard a lot of really good things about it. So I might jump in.
Oh, you might be.
I would say if you're going to go and do it with a friend. Do it with a friend. Have a little bit of a play with them. Yeah, but I mean, it's a little easier. I'd say have a friend who's used to Halo. You're kind of going in, so he can give you a little bit of the way. It's not like, I suppose, even though we say it's like COD, it's not like COD. There is a little bit of a strategy to the way the guns are. If you point a gun, a needle is very much different to a sniper gun. It's very much, it isn't just simple point, bang, bang, and enough bullets will kill or get through. It's a little bit tactical.
I don't do multiplayer games in open parties.
If I'm being honest, I
have to have at least one person I know, because I don't do general parties, because you never know what you're going to get, and I'm not in the mood to get yelled at.
One of the main things that puts me off trying to get into Halo is knowing that there are people that have been playing it for 20 years, and I'm likely going to get smashed in every single game that I join. So
absolutely.
That completely puts me off playing it. To be fair, that's the same for Gears as well. That's why I never really got
I will agree with you. There's some. The problem is, when I was playing Gears weekly, I wouldn't call myself good, but you get a message where you were really trying in that game, and some muppet would message you saying you weren't trying. I'm going to report you. You've got to be MLG level professional to play online.
I'm getting older now. My reactions are shit, and I can't keep up with these fucking whippersnappers. And so for a game like Halo,
the one person here you're not going to get any pity from. It's the cripple guy. With you. Okay, I'm just saying.
Paul, you're going to be my plus one.
I can't. I was playing with Ains from
Season Gaming.
Season Gaming.
The Season Gaming and those guys last weekend, and they understand that I'm never going to get more than 3, 4, maybe 5 kills in a match. That's just the way it is. And it took me a long time to become comfortable with that, going, well, I'm doing the best I can. Like it or not, this is what I am. This is how good I am. As long as I'm having fun with the people I'm with, then
that's the thing.
I'm enjoying myself.
Did you enjoy it? Yeah, exactly. Did you enjoy it? I mean,
I had to stop putting my pressure on myself to say I need to get 11, 12, 13, 100 kills
Yeah.
in a match like the rest of these guys, because that ain't gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
because when I was putting that pressure on myself, I was getting frustrated. And
Yeah,
there are
sure.
some, these guys have played with me. There are some nights where I go in and I'm frustrated, you know, and then I go,
Yep,
okay, this ain't for me. Yeah,
I get
this ain't
absolutely.
for me
crazy
tonight,
competitive
you know.
as well. Not an issue.
What
I'll
was
tell you
good
what
is that if you caught up with Ains's podcast, they actually did mention this very particular aspect. And they said this felt like multiplayer where they could bring in fresh people and teach them the game, whereas the other ones kind of felt like you have to know what you're doing, otherwise you're going to get wiped out. Here,
Yeah.
at
Now-
least, this one kind of felt like a fresh person who doesn't know how to play Halo could be, easily be, tagged in with another team or tagged in with people with more competent or more, with more kills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And still enjoy themselves. And he said that was the one thing they were very happy about, was that it felt like they were trying to, the 343 was trying to bring new people, new fresh players into this game. Again, I only caught the kind of like a good half hour of his conversation, but he was very happy that at least this one, it seemed like 343 was focused on people like yourself, who probably haven't played Halo for quite a while, or even haven't played Halo.
And it's important to remember that no matter what the multiplayer game is, you can go in there the day after it launches. You can wake up, get up. There's already people that have been playing it for 12 hours straight.
For sure.
And they're already like sniping from clear across the map. And so you just gotta kind of put that out of your mind and realize they're probably living at home in their mommy's basement. So
So what I'm going to put out there is next time we do Halo on the community game night, Redders, I'll make sure I try and drag you in, dude, just so you can experience it.
You will be dragging me in as well. I'm
just so you can experience it with friends. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Cool.
I always tell these people to bring their back brace because they're going to be carrying me the whole damn time. Okay.
I think that was one of the good things. I think that's why I kind of liked the third one. Is one of the good things about the third one was that it wasn't necessarily about the kills. In some cases, the best elements of the multiplayer was doing crazy stuff. It was like, how can I get this warthog to flip over and fly into one of the ships, explode it, whilst jump off and then do a hammer on someone? It was, how can I jump off from like a very tall building, jump onto one of the aircraft? And it was the silly stuff. And the amount of times I would go into the multiplayer and they weren't killing each other. People weren't killing each other. They're just trying to do something absolutely stupid and crazy.
The crazy Halo jumps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what this felt like as well. You're seeing it on the Twitter feeds where people are swinging around and then doing backflips and then firing, or they fire a rocket and then rebound it into a warthog, which then flip and crash on. It's that silliness, that craziness, that kind of that ethos of, do you know what? There is a multiplayer shooter there if you want it, but it is that also. Let's just do some stupid stuff and enjoy ourselves.
A lot of the Game Pass leveling up seems to be not skills related, but task related.
No, yeah, exactly.
So far, you don't need to get like 100 kills with headshots with the pistol to get that level.
No, in some cases, like play 3 matches. You've got 200. You've got XP. There you go. Fine. Anyone can do that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting aspect of not having them challenges in there, and it will put people off. That will not.
I've already heard from some people they don't like not having those weapon challenges and stuff. So.
Just to touch on this whole people that have been playing it for 12 hours before, like most people. It's the one thing that puts me off about Battlefield 5 as well, because I believe they're doing a 10-day pre. You can play it 10 days early.
Xbox Ultimate people will be able to get in next week, as a matter of fact.
Wow,
for those that can't pre-order, you're gonna get absolutely smashed by these people that've been playing it for 10 days early. They're gonna have all the better weapons and they're gonna know all the maps. I don't find it fun just getting fucking minced all the time, like over and over again. Because I like to be, I'm quite competitive, and when I'm starting to get absolutely like trounced, and that kills it for me. I like to be competitive. So
I think you can get. I mean, as I've said to Stubbs before, my last major one was Modern Warfare 2, and I got one of the highest ranks on it was to get a golden sniper rifle, and I did, and I'm going to say it now, I was such an arsehole because I'd find the most awkward, small, little, it's one of those things where I religiously played it to the point where I knew little glitches, little places where I could hide and be an absolute git to people, because and you can easily fall into that trap when you become what I would say is addicted to a game. You can become
sure.
a absolute twat to people. And I think some games are easier to fall into that, and some games aren't. Halo for me, I never found that was the case. If anything, I think it was more at least the older Mark players was very much more stupid stuff. As I said earlier, it's more of like, what stupid stuff can we do? What can we break the game? Almost, what can we do? And that's where they could even like create maps. And it's like some of the modes that came out of it in late times was simply because people were doing stupid stuff. And they're like, oh, that actually looks really fun. Let's try and do that. So I'm hoping that the Halo one, at least the ethos seems to be there. This is more of like a not so serious sort of take, which is why I'm hoping it will bring more people like yourself into the game. Well, I think, as you said, COD, I think you're right. You're going to get people who are going 10. They would have probably ranked and gone round through the whole set of 50 ranks already, and probably on their second, second regen, and they will have the maps, pinpointed to the nth degree of where they can absolutely wipe you out. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be people like that on Halo, but I was
always able to hold my own on COD. But then I can't play that. Like, a lot of people just like sit in corners and shit, especially with the latest CODs. That's just not who I am.
Sorry,
I like to run and gun. I bet you're one of them, aren't you?
I was absolute arsehole. I said I would literally, you wouldn't see me, and I'd be just like, how the hell has he got another airstrike? And it's like, well, I was an absolute arse. I know I was. And I said, and I felt bad at the time. I felt bad now. At the time, it was like it was just like, I'm going to get that golden sniper rifle, and I don't care how many times I'm going to piss people off to do it. I think
camping with it on.
The things I would do,
that was the worst.
Yeah, I kind of really pissed a lot of people off.
This is a man that was on YouTube looking for them glitches.
Oh mate, I knew there was places on Modern Warfare 2 that you'd could do a double jump on someone's head, then get onto the top of the map in a corner, and you'd only see a little bit of a sniper barrel for me, and it'd be like, where is he? And I'd be like, bang, you're dead, bang, you're dead. And it's like, I'd rage quit so many people. Now I'm much more, as I said, I kind of I lean towards more the fun aspect of it, but I can see why so many people get that sort of thing. And I think, COD does seem to kind of. I'm the problem. Yeah, I was the problem. I was the problem. I was the arsehole there. But I don't think you're going to get that with. At least what I'm gauging from the playing on it. I don't think you'll get that as much with Halo. I think, as I said, it's much more of a fun. Let's just take the piss out of each other sort of game. Go on.
Well, I was just thinking of something now. You know how when shooting games come out, they're all buggy. I'm not saying this will be, by the way. Not saying, just using as an example. And they spend the next few weeks patching. Christmas is coming, and them developers have been working a long time. Would they get to see their families? All the patching and stuff like that, That's what happens after launch. They just sit there, watch and patch. They do.
Yeah, I've said it a few times now. Halo is not going to be playable on launch, at least for the first 3 or 4 days, because they always grossly underestimate just how many people are going to turn up to play that game on launch.
It's the servers, isn't it? Yeah.
The problem is,
login servers are going to get smashed.
The problem is, it's like Cerebral said before. He understands a bit more about it. They don't know how many to allocate, so they can't just put.
You think of the game like Halo, though, they would throw loads at it. They know everybody's playing that game.
The problem
this year
very true, Steve Script, very true. Well, I think we've mentioned this before, though, haven't we? They said, why would you do that? It's this is the irony thing. I think this is what they do. They it's not they underestimate it. Is they don't want. Again, it's kind of come down to funds. They don't want to throw stuff at it. It's going to be costly to throw stuff at it and say, if you say you're going to shove in 100 servers. And you need to guarantee you're going to use 100 servers. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, 50. Okay, it's a little bit full. We might wake it to 55. Or if it's completely and utterly hell, they'll say, okay, we'll put in 75. Okay, that's still a little bit tighter. We'll put in 80. No, it's going to be very much a stage release because every server is a fortune to maintain, to update, to even just keep going. And so it doesn't make financial sense in that regard. To us, it makes complete sense. It's like, why would you do this? Why would you,
You think they would throw more and dial it back?
No, but the thing is,
add to it.
And I brought this up before. Part of the other side of it isn't necessarily the servers, but the gateways to get the people onto the servers are where the bottlenecks occur. Everybody's trying to log in all at once. And all of a sudden, those systems cannot handle that kind of load. They're not.
And remember, there is what you classify the first month interest and then the dip.
Right.
Yeah. They've got to try and work out what are going to be their sort of
stable,
consecutive, stable player base and play on that. Because of course, the first week everyone's going to go, let's play it, rah, and then it's going to go, shit. If everyone in the world tries to log in at the same time, it's never going to happen. But they might have room for 200,000 players, whatever. But if all those 200,000 try and log in, like Paul was saying, that's not going to happen, dude.
And there's this part called load balancing. There's this part called load balancing.
I was going to go there.
Servers are trying to break up the players as much as they can to keep the load on each server relatively equal.
Yeah,
and that when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of players all at once, that's not an easy thing to do.
The thing is, as well,
that's why you'd think they would throw more at it because Halo is the flagship game. Everybody's
I think with the gateway servers, there's a little bit more that goes on to that. That's not just throwing up another server and saying, "Okay, go." They actually have to build it into the system so the system knows what to do with it.
And again, it's costing. Do you shove in 100 servers? Yeah, if you shove in 100 servers for a month later, it to drop down 50, and that'd be consecutive. That's a lot of money you've just wasted.
You've just spent money on 50 servers.
The nice thing is they are using their own servers. Use your servers. I'm sure there's a little more flexibility on that side for them. But it's the front end loading that's the biggest issue, I think. From understanding how networks work and things like that. Like I said, it's everybody hitting that front end at once and trying to get to one destination.
It's risky though, isn't it? Because I don't know about you guys, but nothing kills a game faster for me than a fucking server's not working on launch. I'll lose interest so quick. If I can't get on and play it, I'll just fuck this.
Well, even though I'm sure they're going to try, I may wait a day. I may try once or twice on launch day. And after that, go.
I had that in my head, and you beat me to it. You did.
Outriders, because look at the servers were so broke, it started removing people's stuff, and they couldn't get the stuff back. And the reason that game failed, it was a good game. I still enjoy it if I go onto it. The problem was that all those people that lost their stuff 6, 7, 8 weeks later. What's the point? Because in 8 weeks' time, you move on to the bigger, better thing. As gamers, we're a fickle breed. We need to. Oh, hang on a minute. All my friends are now playing this. I no longer want to play Outriders because I want to play this.
For a game like Outriders, you need to have a fucking constant stream of content because people will get to max level, they'll play it for 6 hours at max level, and they think, right, that's fucking done, and then they'll go off to something else.
I think.
Everyone else is like, I'm quitting. I've actually kind of completed it.
I believe that game only about broke even due to Game Pass, the payment.
Well, they still haven't. Have they paid off? Is it Humans Can Fly or People Can Fly?
People Can Fly. No.
Last we heard, they hadn't made any money on it. I don't know.
I think there's a couple of things for that. As I said, it was the server kind of downtime, but the biggest thing was obviously the loss of stuff. Really, just killed a lot of people's
Yeah.
interest.
I mean,
and I saw on
wants to
Twitter,
see
it's like,
Dominic
that's
Tom.
it, I'm not going back. I have lost the stuff that I have grinded out for.
Let me correct
done.
that right before I leave, because I just heard that I was shutting down my headset. The reason the devs didn't get paid had nothing to do with Game Pass. That
No,
would be
no,
no,
the
absolutely not, absolutely not.
No, it was
Absolutely
a
not.
wasn't
deal
saying
between
that.
Square Enix and people
Yeah,
Can
that
Fly.
was between the distributor and them. That's all.
Yep, it was between Square Enix and People Can Fly. Yeah, nothing
a
to
lot
do
of
with
people,
Microsoft
a
Game
lot
Pass.
of people forget it's a business. They probably had a contract saying you have to
So,
hit this
a
many
case-
sales.
A case in point.
I think there's shady shit that goes on at Square Enix, because it's not the first time this has happened. It happened with Marvel's Avengers, didn't it? They were 60 million down on that game. They didn't get any. They didn't turn a profit on that game. Like the first 3 months of it coming out, they didn't turn a profit on it.
Yeah. A case in point with Outriders, though, is Telegonic, who was in chat. I don't know if he still is. He went nuts for this for Outriders. He really loved it.
Yep.
He was talking to us all the time. He maxed his character. He absolutely went fucking mentally. He was saying, "This game's for me. It's absolutely brilliant." And we were all like, "Yeah, well, let us catch up a little bit, Jesus." And all of a sudden, at max level, lost all his shit. And he was one of the last people that I know of to get his stuff back. But by the time he got his stuff back, the dude couldn't be bothered anymore.
He destroyed him. He loved that game.
He was so pissed off. And I can imagine there was hundreds of thousands of people across the game that played it. I just thought, what's the point?
I was quite lucky. I didn't lose anything, but Outriders for me is one of those games where I just smash. From the second it comes out, I'll just smash it and smash it and smash it until I get to the end. And then if there isn't enough content coming after that, I'll literally go, right, I'm fucking done on this. I'm off to play something else. And I don't go back to it. So I wish it had more content added.
The plan was, I believe, the content was going to be added very quickly. That was their idea. However, they took so long to fix those servers. They had nobody to give content to. There was no one left playing to give content to. So what's the point? I mean, you brought Marvel up as case in point. It happened exactly the same, and that's a topic that we'll talk about. But it's exactly the same. Once the player base drops off, why would they bother paying people?
Well, what other famous multiplayer game where the player base dropped off, which still no one is playing to this day? And it's not Marvel's, but it was prior to
the Lawbreakers.
A little bit, yeah. But there was another mech game.
Oh,
Anthem.
Come on. Yes.
Anthem.
I was saying the other day, I really want to go back and play that game, but there's no one fucking playing it now. So what's the point? Like,
you had so much potential.
That is
in-game content.
Exactly. Yeah. And they did put in a couple of DLCs, but everyone was like, "You could be kidding me! What? Really?
Yeah, that's
not DLC. That's not in content, Ben." Yeah, they just screwed the pooch on that. Really.
For me, that's why World of Warcraft was so good for as long as it was, because they had a steady stream of content. It wasn't like you get to max level and then you got fuck all to do for like a year. Like there was always something coming. There was always like something to work towards. And when you got RPGs, I mean, even like RPGs that are on consoles, there needs to be
Mass Effect was great for that. Mass Effect was a good game for that, especially for their DLCs. They would BioWare hit home runs on Mass Effect, but they would regularly pump out well-meaning DLC that would last you for a while, and especially the third one, just the multiplayer. It was a constant stream of extra characters, extra content, 24/7, and it was just like.
You want something to
I think I was. It was weird because it was one of the games I was still playing almost a year, well, probably 2 to 3 years after it had the launch, and the content had kind of dropped. The content kind of dropped off about a year and a half afterwards, but I was still playing it because it was so good.
I must have played Anthem for about maybe an hour and a half, and it was one of those games.
The demo.
I was really excited for. I thought it was going to be a great game. I mean, everybody was sold on the E3 trailer. It looked phenomenal. And then it came out and it ran like an absolute turd. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to play this. I don't want to sit here and watch sub 30. You know, it's painful. So I fucked it off and then I never went back to play it again after it got its, was it an FPS boost or a patch to improve frame rate?
That's what kind of kicked me with Marvel Avengers, which I think that's a topic we should be moving on to next, isn't it, Stubbs?
Yeah, we can move on to that. We can. I'll just get the banner up because I've kind of changed the question, but it's relevant to what you're saying. So Marvel Avengers is also going to be entering Xbox Game Pass. Are you looking forward to playing this game? Do you think Game Pass will help boost the player base? Because I've played a little bit of this game, but I don't know if you know Luke Law from Xbox Expansion Pass is a really big fan of this game, and he's played all the content, and he said that the game is a lot different to what actually launched, and I believe that they are actively trying to work on the game to make it much better. There's vast amounts of upgrades, and they are trying to make it a game people want to play. Like weekly and like Destiny. They want the game people want to. I'm not saying they want to. They want it to work, and it does seem that they are putting the work in. It does.
The man that's playing it is Animated Evil. He'll give us the best insight.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to say I'd like to go last and hear all your opinions. However, I'm thinking nobody should play it because I'm the only person streaming it right now, and I'm getting views because of it. Right? So if nobody plays it and nobody streams it, I'm good because I'm streaming it right now on Twitch. So not right now, this second, but that's the game I'm using on my Twitch channel. So I'll go last, if that's okay. Nobody should play it, just for me.
I played it after it got its 60 FPS boost, and I wanted to like it. I really did. I think it's such a fucking grind. Everything you do in that game is a grind, and I've got no desire to play those sort of games anymore, especially when you not feel like you're getting back what you put in. Like they missed the trick when firstly they should have brought the game out between Endgame and Infinity War when Avengers was at its hottest. I think
you are right on that point. I think
it would have had a much stronger player base then. Also, the customization options, I think they've really missed a trick with that because people want to customize their characters and not have, the same old Iron Man that everybody's used to see. I just think there was so many things they missed with that game, and it's not worth going back and playing it, in my opinion. I think Xbox could have saved it back, maybe 6-8 months ago when it got that boost to the frame rate. But it's just, it's not a fun game, No one wants to sit there and grind out pointless hours doing the same things over and over again. It's just, no. Sorry.
That's fair enough. That's
all right.
your view on it. That's
your view.
Cerebral.
Entitled to it.
Not Cerebral. Cerebral.
I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's.
All right. Well, I'll go next.
He did BRB.
Yeah, I mean, I was very much like Redders here. Went in. I saw the potential for it. If anything, I'm more interested in playing the storyline, but it did at the time. And again, I'll kind of listen to what Animated's here because he's still playing and he's still going through it. But it did feel like a very much a heavy grind. It did feel. It kind of felt like a 20% more popular version of Anthem because it had a little bit more stuff in it. But that was it. Still, it's still quite grindy. Still didn't give you the options that as you said, the customization options that it had there. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit sore that there was exclusive characters for one platform and not the other.
Time
would have been better.
There, have they?
It's coming this fall. I don't know what date, and it's also going to have its own. That character's all Spider-Man's also going to have its own cutscenes, etc. It will be.
So that kind of little grated as well, but it's like okay, fair enough. Because there was other characters there, it's like okay, fine. And then as I kind of sat down afterwards and I watched the DLC being added, it's like the DLC itself. I looked at it and again I haven't played it, so I'm only gauging from like a outsider's perspective. It's like doesn't look anything special. Nothing, nothing major selling. And again, I could be completely wrong. And I am going to try it. Now it's in Game Pass. I'm not going to say I'm not going to try it. I am going to try it. And you know what? If it clicks, well done. Amen.
It's huge.
There you go. It works.
It's enormous. It's like an 8
gigabyte
install.
It's the Black Panther deal expansion. They're all talking about. It's the best bit apparently. The new. I haven't played it yet. That's the bit they're all talking about.
Yeah.
The Black Panther expansion. So.
I absolutely loved the Batman Arkham games from Rocksteady. I think if you're going to do a superhero game, you need to give it as much care and attention as what they do with the Batman games, the Arkham games.
See, that's a different genre. If I was going to put this towards it, I would have said it was going to be Marvel. What was the Marvel Omega? It was almost like a very similar sort of thing back for the 360. Oh God, what was it called? Marvel Heroes.
On the mobile, on the mobile.
C-Script.
No,
yeah, but there's loads of Marvel games on the mobile.
I know. This was like the 360 where they had two games. They even had the Hulk in it. It's not the Hulk. They even had the oh my God, my brain's going. They even had Carnage in it as a DLC. Oh God, it's absolutely frustrating. Someone on the channel might be able to help me. It was a basically very similar sort of aspect, but it was a 360 game. Marvel. I think it's Marvel Heroes. Brain's going, absolutely going. But
Marvel Ultimate.
Oh, it might be. Is it?
That's it. Marvel Ultimate. Yes, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's it. Yes, that's kind of what I had envisioned. Something like that, where you could combine your powers and then but in a much more up-to-date modern aspect. Yeah. And even that game had hundreds of characters. Well, it didn't have hundreds, but it had numerous characters and numerous options and numerous abilities you could swap in, swap out. And then I looked at this new Marvel game. I was like, well, hang on a minute. That's kind of got less than what something was done in like 2010. Yeah. So again, that kind of grated me a little bit as well. But
C-Script has hit the nail right on the head. It is basically 90% spam the attack button. But the thing is, you're playing as the Hulk, and you're having to smash people 8 or 9 times just to kill them. You're the fucking Hulk. You know what I mean? There's it doesn't make any sense.
That's why I like Marvel Alliance. They put in very big, very hunky enemies that you almost, you could it would whittle it down. But also at the same time, you had these amazing combination attacks that was just superb.
Yeah.
And you could also add a little bit of an RPG element to it as well, where you can upgrade certain attributes as well.
I just don't think the game knew what it wanted to be. It wanted to be an RPG, but it wanted to be a superhero game, but it wanted to be a games for a service. It was so confused for me. I think it needed something. It needed to have a set focus point.
And again, maybe that's now been ironed out. Again, maybe I said I haven't played it since then. So I'm going based on, kind of a biased opinion here. And I think that's why I'm intrigued to hear what Animated says, because obviously he has been playing it, and it'll be interesting to see his thoughts on if he believes that it has been, as again, fully upgraded, is much more a robust system. So Animated. Tell us.
This may be a lengthy conversation. I am not a Marvel superhero fan whatsoever. The only reason I own this game is because I had a discussion with Clowns and Infinite one night on 4GQ TV about, do you know what? It looks good, and it could possibly get me into the Marvel universe a bit. And Infinite, God bless him, he gifted me the game, so I started playing it.
It's good guy, Infinite. It's good guy.
He's absolutely fantastic. And do you know what? I've never seen all the Marvel films, never. But because I'm playing Marvel's Avengers, I'm actually watching all the Marvel films. I'm up to Ant-Man and the Wasp, so we're all good. I think where the game failed as its inception was because it wants that free-to-play Fortnite mode where you buy shit. However, they charge $40 for the game as well. You can be one or the other. You can't do both. I am not going to spend. I'm not going to spend money on emotes and stuff like that. No chance. Because guess what? This game cost my friend $40, and that was wrong. And that's why it failed with all the players in the inset. Because to get everything you need to spend money on it, or grind, like Red has said. However, it is a standalone story. It's got me so much interested into the Marvel universe somehow. I don't know how it's done it. I'm finding it a lot of fun. And I've got to bring up as well when Red has said, "Oh yeah, you're the Hulk." You hit one person, fine, but if you watch, what's the one, Infinity War, Hulk gets his ass handed to him anyway. So
yeah, for sure.
What's different between that film and in the game? Because the game is they're not humans; they're sort of synthesized robots with ultra strength and stuff like that. So they're made of metal. They're absolutely fucking huge beasts you've got to beat, and that's why you can't just one shot them.
Yeah,
And
I think what. Go on, Reddit. I was going to say. I think, and again, I'm paraphrasing Reddit here, but I'm assuming for me it was like Hulk.
Yeah,
was just a teeny little bit stronger than say, Captain, than say, I'm trying to think of Iron Man.
Yes,
a little bit stronger.
Correct.
When actually he's fundamentally 10 times stronger than Iron Man. Unless, of course, he puts on the extra big hulky suit. It was like you never felt like the Hulk. It felt like a skin of another character.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The hit points, Paul. The hit points are the same on every character, no matter what character you play. That's back in game design. That's basically you are a character who can hit so hard, and the hit points on each character is the same no matter who you play. That's game design, and I get that.
But like you look at the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, in that fight in New York, he's fucking wrecking house, absolutely wrecking house. Yeah. You don't feel like you're playing the big powerful Hulk in Marvel Avengers. You feel like
you don't. You really don't. I agree.
That's the problem I have with
no, because my understanding with the Hulk is the more angry he gets, the more he gets stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
But I haven't played that game, but I've seen it, and it looks like it's one of the weakest.
Yeah, he feels really weak in that game. Like really weak.
Oddly enough, I refuse to play as a Hulk for that reason. I like, and the weird thing, my favorites are probably Black Widow, just because of her movesets and she's got the guns. She's a really good character, and Thor. Well, I mean, even in the Marvel universe, Thor doesn't realize his full potential until the penultimate film because he's lost his hammer. Spoiler alert. Yeah. in the Marvel universe.
Well, I don't need to play that game anymore. Okay.
No. Not in the game. Not in the game.
I'm on film number 2 out of 20.
You're fine. And he doesn't realize his full potential until he has an issue and sees his dad again, and then he says, "What? You're not the god of hammers." Basically.
Yeah, but you've kind of hit the nail on the head. If every character in that character set is identical to each other, it is effectively a reskin.
Yeah.
With maybe slightly different powers.
Slightly different.
And ironically, this is the irony. Something like a 2010 game. Yeah, a 2010 game that was actually an isometric 3D little aspect could do a better way of dealing with that. Where you knew, say, the Hulk in that game in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, it was like you played the Hulk, you could you do more damage than say you play as Spider-Man. His moveset was very much being a quicker in-bling, fire from a distance, and swing and hold people down. The Hulk would come in and basically obliterate things. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean the enemies weren't still kicking his ass sometimes when they ganged up on him, because it would do. But as you said, on this one, it was just like it's basically you could have put a new skin on it, and you probably wouldn't have known the difference.
Yeah,
and as you said, it's a baked in. That itself is a baked in.
Of course, it's gameplay design. I don't know if you've ever dabbled in
slapped the name Marvel Avengers on it just to make it sell. I mean, that game could literally be anything.
It is a good story. It is. It's fun with friends. Back from Dead just said in the chat that he's Captain America is 140 level 47, power 144. So he's ready to carry me anytime. So I have been playing with Back from Dead for a little bit, and he's just gone
very invested.
Nuts. He's just gone nuts. He has. It is fun with friends. It's a good laugh when you're together, and one of those things. I don't know why. I don't know why it's pulled me in. I'm going to be honest, but I'm not going to spend any money on it. I don't agree with that Fortnite model at all. Not when someone's paid $40 for a game.
For sure.
I'm not going to do the emotes. Not going to do that sort of stuff. the standalone story, if you're interested in the Marvel universe, you'll like it. And do you know what? It's coming on Game Pass, and I think it will boost players, especially through
all those that didn't want to pay for
the
it
Xbox, PC. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I was. That's exactly where I was. The conversation was, I'd like to play it, but I don't want to pay up 40 quid. And someone said, "There you go, gift it, see what you think." And I've been streaming.
Yeah.
I've been streaming it every week since.
And in terms of players, I recently put on Twitter the actual Steam player base, and it went from July for 10,000 players down to, I think it's now down to 4,000 players, and that's and its average on Steam at the moment is 1,500.
Yeah,
and let's face it, that's PC. So console is probably going to be a little bit lesser than that. So it makes financial sense to literally shove it in Game Pass because we all know the moment a game goes into Game Pass, it will get a boost.
Yeah,
it will.
And I posted on my Twitter, it's going to become about the microtransaction. That's where
like I said, nobody should play it because I'm the only one streaming it right now, and that's why I'm getting viewers. So no, nobody buy it. Nobody download it. It's a terrible game.
I need to play it again. I have it. I've not played it in a while. I stopped playing it because it got buggy, but it seems to be. Last time I had a go, it seems to be working a lot better. It does. On that
note, Stubbs, it's not buggy. It runs very, very smooth. I've had no issues. I've had no issues as of. So it has been fixed. It runs at 4K 60 and it looks lovely.
But you can't polish a turd. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you can roll it in glitter.
And charge it for 600 quid.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I just meant from when I initially first played the game to now. It's running really well. The even file size is over 100 gig now for Avengers.
Crazy big.
It is.
Really?
Yes, over 100 gig.
Does that have to be installed on your internal or external?
Yes.
Internal. It's 90 something, I think.
That could push a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of space for a game to take a chance on, especially when you got your COD and your Halo coming through, which needs to also be on your internal drive.
Speaking of space, have you seen the shit that Xboxes might be doing a reduced 500 gig expansion card? What is the point? Everyone needs more space.
Yeah,
we spoke about that last week.
It's basically pointless. Unless you,
everyone's crying out for more space, and they're releasing a smaller fucking hardware.
Well, I said it's not. The argument was I can see the logic for what I argued against was the pricing of it. From what we heard, and again, it's not 100%. The pricing was about 20 to 30 quid cheaper than the 1 terabyte, which made no sense to me. Except for that, it could be tried. It's there to kind of push people into buying the 1 terabyte sort of card. Now, if it had been like half price, I could understand those who go, actually, I just want to have a certain selection of games sat on that particular expansion card that I can just simply drop in or plug in at any point. You know, maybe you want to keep your COD, your Halo on that card, which you can then just plug in at any point. And it being about 80, 90 quid, okay, that's pretty good. I can just do that. So from a person who's with limited funds, I can understand it. But I'd rather have a 2 terabyte, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I really hope that this Seagate only shit ends. And they start handing it out to other third parties because the prices of the 1 terabyte was still 200 quid, isn't it? It's the same price.
I think the last one I saw was it was again. I think I mentioned it was going down to 179, but then they jumped it up again to 199 again.
What you have to understand though, it's still very expensive technology. That's the problem.
There's a guy on the internet that proved that you can do the same thing with an adapter and a standard M.2, wasn't there? A few weeks ago.
No, that was a catch-22 because what it said was, and this is where I believe that we mentioned it in the previous podcast, was that I think it's to do with the software because he had 5 of them. He did the adapter. Only 2 would be picked up on the actual dashboard, but you couldn't use it. So it would highlight the fact it was there, but you couldn't physically go in and save or download from it. And the other 3 weren't being picked up. So I think he came to the conclusion at the time was that some of them, I think it was I think the card itself is a casing, but there is a software element to it, which kind of keeps, I mean, maybe that's what Seagate has actually paid for. They've paid for that exclusive software, and maybe they've had like a year or two's license, and then once that's gone, because let's face it, you've made a lot of money from it, then that kind of software license will be then spread to spread to wider publishers.
You're still going to need to be careful though, because all SSDs are not the same. These are these are rated higher to do the higher heat.
Yes, Reeve, you'll be able to do this one. Wasn't there recently? There was a big report that who was it? Was it Linux? He got 5 same SSDs, literally the same spec, the same element, and each one was different because of the actual internal hardware. And in some cases it was cheaper. Actually, in some cases it was much cheaper hardware. In some cases it was much cheaper elements being utilized. So basically the same card.
It seemed to be based on which region they were being shipped to.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
But that's why you need to be careful with third-party stuff. That's why I like Xbox saying you need to get our stuff right now, because as soon as it opens up to third party, you're going to get these cheap wannabes that on their face are going to look great, but after about a week or 2 or a month or 2, are they still going to work? That's why the whole thing with the other company going, well, you can just use any old SSD you can find as long as you can put a heatsink on it. Well, that's going to mess with a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It is. The exclusivity comes to an end soon.
Even though I can't afford it, I would rather get one that's quote Xbox certified.
So, are you saying the one I bought for?
I just want one that's bigger than fucking 1 terabyte. There needs to be like a 2 terabyte version.
Are you saying the one I bought for £4.50 on Wish isn't going to work?
It may do, but it might set your whole thing on fire.
It'll work as a good doorstop.
Worth the risk.
You might burn your
Also, I just want to say a couple of shout outs. Welcome to the Crazy Greek Dude. I know you've been there for a bit, but I appreciate you coming in. And Redders, you might want to join in with him. This and Animated. It's Timmy! Timmy! And I think there was someone
10 minutes down the road from me.
Fair play. And welcome ACS Husk. But it's you are right. You've got to be careful which one. I think Microsoft would also use the basically, there's obviously a software element as well. They would use the security standpoint, saying that we need to make sure it's secure. Could be out on your USB stick, SSD, whatever. They'll probably use that as an element to say as well.
Well, I think in some of the software I read, it kind of boosts some of the actual data as well, in some cases, as well as being a security element. From what I read, it's one of these things I was trying to looking through some like swaths of data. I think Animated probably had to fact check me on this because he's a good fact check on that. But I think it was the I think that's what they're paying for. I think it's the software kind of tick box, as well as it almost helps and boosts slightly the actual data cap or something along those lines.
So I think the exclusive window's ending soon. I think Seagate was a year exclusivity. I could be wrong. I think that's why you only get Seagate cards at the minute. Yeah. I think that's why.
I can't wait for them to start making bigger expansion cards, because that'll be when it'll be worth upgrading for me. There's just no point spending the same price that you would spend for a Series S on one expansion card. That's only a terabyte. It's not
and that's the reason why I've not got one.
I'm happy to fanny about moving shit from mechanical.
But would you spend half the price for a 500 gig?
No chance, because it's not 1
no
terabyte's
point.
already
There's no
not
point.
enough space.
There's no point.
Yeah. Like I said before,
I would happily pay.
It's not bad for
that
for a
500 gig
stick.
is basically going to be a Call of Duty SSD. Okay, that's
I'd happily spend 200 quid on a 2 terabyte expansion drive, but for 1 terabyte, it's not worth it. It's just too expensive.
And the sad thing is, because of the supply issues that we're having worldwide, that are only going to get worse before they get better. It's probably going to be a couple of years before things kind of start to level out and go down.
Well, we can't even get fuel there.
I've
been able
to panic. The first thing they'll do is
I've been able to get fuel whenever I want. It's not a problem. Because where I live, they keep refueling them every day. Every day they refuel the tankers.
Stubbs is running the old agricultural red diesel where he lives.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you,
tax free.
Yeah, but did you hear about that one on the motorway somewhere in Derbyshire where the police went there? It was a queue of 100 people queuing up for this fuel station. The bugger weren't open. There was nobody there. There was no fuel. And they were queuing.
The main garage in town's been shut for 2 days now. They can't get fuel. But it's spotty as shit down here. There's some places that can get it, some places that can't.
See, this is where you got to convert your car to run on fish chippy oil. And some of you may think I'm taking the piss, but if you knew your old cars, you could actually get it to run on fish and chip oil.
Yep.
Trust me. Smelled like fish and chips, and it would run. And what was great about it was that fish and chips normally, the fish and chippies would normally, for them, it was actually a benefit to give it to you because otherwise they'd have to dump it. And it would pay them to dump it. So they would often give it to people who are like, yeah, I'll take it off your hands. Let's have like 6 litres of that. That'll now keep my car going for the next week.
Oddly enough, I think it was Proton that did that first, I think, the conversions.
It was
Proton, wasn't it? Yeah, because we had a hell of a lot of Proton police cars in my city. It's like, really? Come on. No good in a chase, but still, you can get away from the police on a BMX because they're using Protons. It's fine.
I could be wrong, but I think there was a patent for either fueling your car with water or lemonade, and it got buried. It got bought by one of the fuel companies for a couple of. A couple of billion. They gave him a couple of billion to take the patent off his hand and buried it.
There was an engineer in America.
It was corn, wasn't it?
There was an engineer in America that developed a hydrogen fuel cell to run cars, and I believe he got assassinated in the McDonald's.
Hydrogen. You can actually. I think it's believed in America. You could get cars to run on hydrogen. The problem is there's no actual solution because I watched a lot of programs on these so-called battery cars, right? And they reckon for everyone in the world, just one household to have a car, they don't have enough raw materials in the world to make one car for each household in the world, let alone, so they've got to come up with a new solution for the future.
Yeah, they have to, for sure.
Plus the fact that if you live on a high street, like I've got my own drive, so if I had to have an electric car, which I won't because I wouldn't be able to afford it, I could. What about all these people that are parked on the streets and can't park in their houses? It's going to cost trillions to put all these points in.
They say they want.
There is
but there's too much profit made in it, don't they?
To be honest with you, the biggest thing isn't the fact that we as a society are, as you said, need a car. It's the irony is that back in the old days when I was a lad, your family, your business, your work, your job was 5, 10, 15 minutes away from you. Your mum and your nan would live down the street. Your future wife was probably two streets over. Your workplace was the local factory or the local chippy or the local something. Now, people are so spread out. I mean, that's why they're spread out from their workplaces. We are actually spending more time traveling. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was very much a.
It wasn't.
So if we are going to go down the more economic path, we are going to have to either find a way to work from home for some of us, or move jobs closer to places of where we can actually, situate and integrate with each other a little bit.
Yep, I've
tighter.
talked about it before, where the parts of England I've been to still have a bunch of little villages where everything happens inside that little area.
Mm-hmm.
Like Derby and whatever.
Goodness, there's places more remote than when I live. Then, and I live in the smallest county in the UK. So,
well, that's you. That's because of your BO.
Yeah, for those in America who probably don't know what this is, it's like where Stubbs live. It is like our UK version of Alabama. I
don't know, because I was speaking to Husk. I was speaking to Husk, and I thought I lived in a small place. And he goes, "How many people in your town?" I says, "Well," and he told me how many people were in his town. It was like over 1,000 people. I was like, "Damn, okay then. My town's a lot bigger than yours then."
We've got like 5,000 in the town I live.
I've got more than that in our town.
Oh, I'm up to somewhere where 750,000 of a million. I think we're at. Yeah, 750,000 of a million. I think.
Well, the whole of our
somewhere
county,
between
we've got about
somewhere
40,
between
40,000.
500,000 and 750,000. I think where I live.
Where you at?
Hull.
Hull,
yeah. Kingston upon
not HOLEHULL. A hole.
A hole in the ground.
Yeah.
It looks. If you drive through, it looks like it might as well be a hole in the ground if you look at it.
Looks like a hole. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah. First name shit. Second name hole.
Yeah, that's good. I don't actually. Good conversation, but I don't remember how we got here.
This is what we do. This is where we go. Somehow.
Yeah.
It's fun when we get Stubbs finally go. I have no idea what we're talking about.
We could be talking about the coalition,
Avengers
and then
SSDs to car engines.
Yeah,
Avengers.
Well, actually, no. Do you know what it was? It was Stubbs.
That was it.
Stubbs was going. Yeah, it was Stubbs.
Yeah. It was my fault. I don't know how I got onto battery. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You said one battery for every car, and then
it was my fault actually.
Yeah.
I thought we've got a fuel crisis, and then it got sidetracked. So it was my fault, but well, not a fuel crisis. It's a driver. It's a driver crisis. Apparently,
it's an idiot.
That's why Tushi isn't here. Unfortunately, he's too busy driving fuel everywhere.
He's not a fuel driver.
He should be. But he needed a fortune.
You need more. Yeah. You need because they bought all this rubbish about bringing draft in the military, but they actually said that they wouldn't be able to do it because you have to have the HGV license, and then you have to have 2 extra tickets each per driver. You've got to do lot extra courses to actually deal with fuel.
Yes,
so they're not doing that at all. They're not.
Yeah, you don't. Not only do you actually drive the vehicle, you actually have to connect it, and also work the pump itself. And the pumps are very. They're not as easy as what everyone thinks it is. It's not simply just turn, twist, pull the handle. I think there is a little bit of a little bit more than that because there is pressure to be involved, and also the underground tanks themselves. Some of them could be worn, some of them could be a little bit temperamental. So I think, as you were saying, it is a little bit more technical than what it is.
On the radio, that was all.
Do we really want Tushy in handling highly volatile material?
But one thing I will say is, when they say all the fuel's ran out, I've found out that technically the fuel hasn't ran out, and what happens is they're not allowed to run it dry, but they have to leave so much in reserves. But what happens is, they keep going about the emergency services can't get fuel. Well, apparently, if they pull into a petrol station and they say they ain't got any, and they're an ambulance, they will actually give them. They'll let them top up if they ask. They have got...
No, some garages are doing priority. So if you are from the NHS, they are doing priority aspects to it. So I think some garages are saying, look, if you're NHS, you flash your NHS card, you get first because you are classified as first response or
Yeah, but what I mean is, in the garages, like say they've got no fuel left, and an ambulance pulls in, they move the cones to let him in because they have actually got.
No,
fuel.
you're right. They're not allowed to. It's a contamination hazard. And the reason I know this is that one of the garages where I live, they actually did that. It cracked one of the tanks and then seeped into the ground, and the ground is now actually classified as contaminated.
Wow.
Which means it would probably cost them around almost 2 to 3 million to kind of remove the contaminated soil in that area. I mean, this is a very small garage, it was as well at the time, and replace it and get rid of the actual elements. So what they've done is just they've concrete over the top of it and made it into a hand wash station.
Okay.
But yeah. If a cracked underground tank is a very, very serious element, ecologically sort of thing as well, and you get heavily penalised for it. So I think they are very, as you said, they're not allowed to.
The sea. Remember that, the oil spill in the sea. Oh, they got into trouble, didn't they?
There's one recently, wasn't there? They caught fire.
Yeah.
That was crazy to watch. That was. Geez.
I have to say,
welcome to environmental talk on Midweek Gaming.
I love what Dragon Wolf was put in chat. Petrol literally has a sell-by date before it's no good. So what way can we get rid? Because it did not sell in lockdown. What way could we think about? Hello, BBC. Yeah.
Petrol stations were open throughout the lockdown, though. All of
them were, but not a lot of people were driving around.
Yeah, exactly. There was. Remember, there is storage facilities, and it wasn't being as used at the same consumption. I think, if I remember correctly, didn't someone say that we dropped down from, say, if you was 100%, we dropped down to 25%. It was almost like a 75% decrease. And a lot of the ecologists would say, yeah, this is what we need to do to actually get our planet back to a better standard. But yeah, I think it was about 75% decrease in terms of traffic on the roads.
These are the same dipshits that went out and panic bought fucking toilet roll when COVID first came out. Like, tell people not to panic, the first thing they're gonna do is panic.
What was it? I saw a fantastic one actually on Twitter, and it was a pub saying, "Beer supply running out. Please buy here quickly."
Yeah.
Every pub seems to have copied that. Even pubs where I live.
Remember,
all copied it.
You got to remember though, when the world runs out of toilet roll, it's nothing a sponge can't do.
Most people have curtains.
Well, that's gross.
You got a towel or a flannel lying around, you'll be right.
There you go. And it's washable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We did it with nappies. Why not?
Do a prediction. What's the next crisis going to be? What we're all going to run out of?
We could go full Roman and just remember, don't shake the left
what do you
hand,
mean? There is already another crisis. Have you not heard, Stubbs?
Turkeys and shit, innit?
No, you're close. You're close. I heard crumpets.
Not the crumpets.
I'm not joking. I'm sure I heard. I hope it's been facetious and someone's taking the piss, but I heard someone saying about crumpets. There was a shortage of crumpets. Now, if you know us Brits, that's that. Petrol, we can just barely handle. Crumpets, that's it. We're going to riot.
Well, if you guys had a crumpet shortage, the Queen would be all over the news.
Removable. Removable. Don't panic. Don't panic. If they ration crumpets, you can have mine, okay? I'll send you mine. It's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't do them. I don't do them.
Christmas is going to be screwed, isn't it? They've apparently going to be 500,000 turkeys down this Christmas because they just haven't got the packers to pack.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't believe that because now they're on TV, right? This farmer was crying. Oh man, I've got no money and all this. I can't afford it. And they set this guy up. They got this woman.
Was that this morning?
It might have been.
Yeah,
and she looked into it. She investigated this company. She applied for jobs. She rang the office. She emailed them. She did all the background check.
Yeah.
You're not advertising for these 50 jobs and all this.
Yeah.
Oh, money small. Actually, your company's worth 1.5 million. You're a multi-millionaire, sir. You know,
Yeah, apparently animals.
Welcome to the Midweek Economic Show with your host, Stubbs Gaming.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh well, Anyway, it's been fun.
Gonna murder a crumpet.
Very random tonight.
Best way.
Hey, you know what? I haven't heard you guys talk about those of you who got together last weekend. Come on.
Tushi's not here. See,
Just a bit-
Tushi
well,
and Animated.
I was there. So yes, we did a sort of community game night meetup, and we went to a place called
Arcade, isn't it?
Arcade Club in Bury.
Wow.
Arcade Club in Bury. And now this place is 3 floors of just arcade games. You've got a dedicated wall for pinball machines, and we're talking everything from back in the day with Frogger. My standout was Tron. Yeah, the Tron with the blue handle, all that sort of
Dragon
stuff.
Wolf.
All that sort of stuff.
But
Yeah,
Bury
Arcade Club. Yes, it was Arcade Club in Bury. Yes, I met up with Dragon Wolf, and he is as old as he sounds, which was weird. He's like Yoda's granddad. He really is old. He's gonna hate me for saying that. Yeah, I think the standout was Paperboy with the old bicycle handles. That was brilliant. House of the Dead, Point Blank, everything you can imagine. This place was absolutely fantastic. If you guys, obviously, us Brits in the room. Sorry, Paul, you can't go because unless you get a flight across.
I told you in the message. I've been to Bury. That's where I've been to twice. And
Really?
of all the places I've been in the UK, Bury was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what a weekend. But you know what? It was really fun. It was us guys, 6 of us from community game night that met up, and the conversation was just the same as a community game night. It was like we'd been friends for years. It really was nice. It was great seeing Dragon Wolf and Big Al Boomer and Brandon Lee as well, and Bartez, Tushy, and myself. It was absolutely fantastic.
I thought Stubbs was going to go. Stubbs didn't end up going.
Stubbs didn't go. No, he was too busy playing single player games at home.
I was too busy killing wasp nests.
But yeah, it was really nice, and yeah, we are going to do something different next time as well. We're gonna try and make it a little bit bigger, because obviously people have seen the pictures, and hopefully this whole silly pandemic thing is going to be gone in a couple of months' time, and we can actually make a really, really good weekend of it.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. This is going to happen. I would like to see an intercontinental meetup. At some point. Not saying now, but I would love to, as I said, try and catch up with our American friends over there as well, and try and get over there.
Do something for Gamescom or some shit where we all.
Yeah, do something. Well,
No,
we all club together and try and get over there.
Yeah,
we did mention next year's CGX in London. This year is a bit too close to. This year is a bit too close to plan because it's in the next 3 weeks. Is it? It's a little bit too close.
Yeah, I don't know.
EGX is actually next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We are looking at doing that next year together, and we're even talking about doing the one in Germany as well.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go to the Germany one for ages, and I've never done. Me and Tim were thinking about doing it a couple of years ago, but nothing ever came of it. So
do you know what?
Like a possible meetup.
I do have to definitely talk to Mr. Tushy about it. We talked about it with Dragon Wolf Gamescom in Germany, like you put in chat. Yeah, it was Dragon Wolf's idea. We would love to do that. It gives us a year to save up and plan hotels and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a thing, and I would love more and more people to turn up, because the 6 of us, as few we were, it just felt so natural.
Yeah,
just meeting up in person, and it really did. So there you go. That was the weekend.
And just so you know, that's what the Xbox ambassadors do, because we're worldwide. So when they have something like EGX or any of the PAX meetups or whatever, they always say, okay, it's not official, but if you're an ambassador, let's try to get together and do something. So a lot of them have met that way. It's the same type of thing.
I'm
I'd love to go to
actually
PAX.
I'm actually tempted to roll myself into that sort of thing, Paul. Sort of try and get into the ambassadors program myself, just because of that kind of thing. I think I'd do all right. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I think you'd do fine, even if they asked me about you. Yeah, I would lie. I mean, I would.
Even if they asked you, say no.
Not a fucking chance.
Paul will be on the phone. Phil, is this guy? Say no. Just say no, dude.
No.
we have a bunch of people from the UK that are active in the program that I personally know and deal with. So yeah, and some of them may have lived near some of you guys. You know, so it's cool. Yeah. So you would probably meet them before I would.
More than likely, yeah.
Like Sightless Combat, the gamer without sight. I call him the gamer without sight. I'm the gamer without skill. You know.
Do you know what? It's I made friends with Sightless Combat probably 4 or 5 years ago, and he taught me how a blind guy can kick my ass
in shooters.
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yep. We just sort of fell out of touch, and I really did appreciate talking to him back in the day, but we just fell out of touch. That's all. So yeah, he's a good guy. However, moving along.
What are we doing now? Next topic. Oh, sorry.
Next topic is the
outdoor. Stubbs' next topic is bedtime, isn't it, Stubbs?
It is. I've got gym tomorrow. Get back to the gym.
Bless his heart. How is he doing, Jim?
I was going to say something like that too.
On a serious note, Stubbs, how is the leg since your massive accident where you decided to snap it in half? How is it with the exercise and stuff now?
Oh, for God, I can feel that. Oh, the memories you're bringing up.
He could tell you about that, but then he'd have to kill you. So you know.
The memories of catching your balls between that chair.
The problem is, since I obviously went on holiday, had COVID and all that, I haven't been in about 4 weeks. I'm going back tomorrow. So my leg is doing well, but not as well as it would be if I was still going for the past 4 weeks. But it's far better than what it was. Still walking all that. But I can tell I need to get back to the gym because my mobility.
Just don't overdo it.
No, I've got to build up again.
I suppose if you're gonna break something, you might as well do it proper, ain't you? The scars are nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
It's been 4 weeks. I'm sure Jim has been missing you. So you know.
Yeah. But no, yeah. But in general, no, my leg's fine. Animated. It's just one of them, you know, things that happens.
One of them old age things. Yeah.
But I am very careful when going downstairs and anything now. I look like an old person going downstairs. So I can walk downstairs normally.
It's nervous nature. Yeah. That'll take a long time for that to get over before you.
But even when I'm working now, I look constantly when I'm walking. I look at the floor constantly just to make sure there ain't a hole I've missed. Do you know what I mean?
It can really fuck you up, can't it? Like psychologically.
Yeah.
You constantly make you a lot more aware of what you're doing and shit.
He does, and then because I always say work with my dad, he says, "Oh, always watch where you're going." And a few weeks ago, he fell down but he rolled into it and then got back up again. He says, "And you're telling me to look?" He says, "Yeah, I got to get it. I wasn't looking."
Starting to see a pattern here, is anyone? Isn't it? You know, your family seems to. There's a hole. Let's try and die for it. You know.
No.
And I love the way he's talking shit to his dad, and you tell me to look. Oh yeah, look at what happened to you.
Exactly. But yes, it's been a good show this week. We've had gaming, fuel talk, cars talk, everything. And it's my fault, but it's all good, all random. But yeah, thanks, Reddit, for coming on. It's been a
thanks for having me.
To have you on, Naz.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ReddersTV. You can find me on Twitch at ReddersTV. I've also got a YouTube channel which is going to be becoming more active. I'm determined to make it become more active this year.
That's good to hear.
But yeah, you can find out most of my shit on Twitter. Oh, you can catch me
thanks for coming
on the Xbox Live Party podcast every Saturday, and you can also catch me on Gaming Room 101, which is fortnightly on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Both shows are at 8 p.m. So you can catch me there for sure.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
and Removable Sanity, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much again for letting me have on and chat away again. Thank you for all, and it's lovely to see Redders, and lovely to see everybody else on the team. So I think you can find me on YouTube, Minds, and Twitter and Xbox under Removal Sanity. Apart from that, you'll either find me on here if they allow me on to chat.
We always let you on Removable, don't you worry? No fear of that. We missed you when you had your,
Newborn.
hiatus due to newborn. Yes, we really did miss you. We did.
So what Stubbs is saying is, as long as the show is going on, you can't have any more kids.
Ironically, my missus said the same thing, actually. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, she's kind of put pay to that now. It's a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a newborn kind of do that to you.
Yeah.
Keep you young.
She going after you with the garden shears, is she? Going after you?
Yeah, it's like you get old now. So trust me, I said it's having kids is a young man's game. Yeah, you can't have it at kids when you're old. You just haven't got the energy.
But anyway, thanks for coming on, Removable.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And Animated Evil, thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure as always, and it's been so long since I've done a full outro. Here I go. Okay, you can find me on. Do you know what? The best place to find me and what I'm doing is on Twitter, which is animated_evil. I'm also on Twitch, Animated Evil 857. The A and the E's are capitals. Okay, so I do that. I do Twitch probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I am here on Midweek Gaming. Thursday, I am over on 4GQ TV. Friday and Saturday, I co-host with Mr. Tushy on a community game night. Join me on Xbox, Animated Evil 857. You will find out all the stuff there then. And Sunday, as well as Twitch, I'm on the Flemish Experience. So, yes, I'm a 7 days a week guy.
Jesus.
There we go.
Now I can
That's, and you know what?
7 days a week.
7 days a week, yes.
Cerebral,
So
he's outdoing you there.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not. He's
My outro is
also
pretty much the same as animated, so you know.
Yes.
On it like a car bonnet.
Yeah.
Well, you all outdo me. I'll do
No,
one podcast.
over to you, Paul. Let's find out where you are and what you're doing, dude. Come on.
The best way to find me like him is just go to Twitter, CerebralPaul1, and all those shows he just listed. I'm on those. Plus on Tuesdays I'm on Retro Renegades on Tuesday night.
But there is something else special that you're doing, isn't there?
What are we talking about? What am I? Is that's the
charity
thing, dude? That's different.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's no. Next week is Disability Awareness Month, and so all my streams or next month rather. So all my streams all next month, and I'm going to be streaming an extra amount because of this. I'm going to be raising funds for able gamers, which help develop, including the Xbox, the Microsoft Accessibility Controller, other things, so that disabled people can play games. And you know, because like one of my favorite quotes, you know, when everybody plays, we all win. So there you go. And also next month, at the end of the month, even though it's on the Xbox Ambassadors channel, I'd like to have as many people watching as I can. I will be hosting a show where it's going to be talking to other gamers, including Sightless, who is a gamer without sight. Somebody, Viper7 Gamer, who plays, and he actually uses a mouth controller to blow some of the to control some of the stuff. And also Graphic God, he probably won't be there with us, but we're going to talk about what he goes through to play one-handed, and I'm going to have some footage of that. So please join us, and that's the Xbox Ambassador channel on Twitch. Look it up now and just save it in your savings, and I'm going to be talking about it coming up, and it's going to be the 28th of next month. But that's going to be on top of, to cap off everything I'm doing for able gamers.
Fantastic.
Sounds very good.
Yeah, is that what you were talking about? Now that you put me on the spot.
Yeah. I'll have to drop some links for all that in the description.
Yeah.
We'll add it in the shows. Yeah.
But no, that's very good. That is two busy men, animated and cerebral. Be careful you don't get burnout.
Yeah. Well, the one thing, all the fundraising and stuff is for fun, so I don't think that'll burn out. So
I know that.
And if you don't want to watch the shows,
animated.
if you don't want to watch the shows, I have the links and stuff in my Twitter, so go over there.
And Stubbs, where can we find you?
We can find me at Stubbs Gaming on Twitter and on this YouTube. And this coming Saturday, the Stubbs Cast returns with Insipid Ghosts, aka Luke Law from Luke Law from the Xbox Expansion Pass podcast this Saturday, 5 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. BST, and 2 p.m. PST for a nice content creation interview. It's a great podcast. If you don't listen to the Xbox Expansion Pass, you're missing out because it's a very, very good show. He normally has interviews, etc. It's a very good show. But if you want to tune into that, but if you can't tune in live, don't worry. It's available for download after the fact and available on demand. But it's a very interesting show. Normally learn a thing or two. I do from many different creators. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you all next week.
Animated Indie wants to know if you're single and if you're available. I don't know what that's all about. But...
Tushy claimed
I answered
a long time ago.
I answered.
But anyway, thanks for coming on, everyone, and thanks, chat, for tuning in. It's been fun. And we will see you next week.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Have fun, guys.
Nice.
Bye.